our walk to get apple pie, we came across this banh mi deli. Our favorite Vietnamese sandwich place in San Jose changed owners, and sadly it's not the same. Their bread was what made it so good. It was crispy on the outside, but soft on the inside. So far, we had an amazing bread in Amsterdam, so we thought we'd try our luck here.
Amsterdam version of the Vietnamese video. Ooh, listen to that crunch.
It's good.
It's good?
Pretty good.
Is it better than the ones that we have in the Bay?
Bread's good.
Hear that crunch.
It was a mess of a line at Winkle, but pro tip, one of the waitress told us we could just walk in if we didn't want an outside table. They are famous for their apple pie. Their apple pie was very different from the American version. Both the pie and the whipped cream were very light and not as sweet. We ended the day with a nice walk in a park nearby our hotel. The weather is so perfect. It's so green and so dreamy here. The next morning, we stopped by a coffee shop while waiting for a Hallen or the food hall to open.
Video of us?
We snacked on a delicious almond croissant while Paul sipped on coffee and I sipped on a hot matcha latte. I've noticed that matcha lattes are very popular in Europe now, and they tend to have no added sugar. Hallen is finally open now. In the 1930s, Hallen was a tram depot. Now it is a center for art, fashion, and culture. And there's also a food court. There were several types of cuisine like Greek, Chinese, Vietnamese, and Mexican. We decided on Rough Kitchen, which served barbecue.
Well, we get a 2-item choice. Do a tasting plate. Small plate. And the pulled pork and the white balls.
We got pulled pork and some meatballs. It was showing that they're known for their ribs.
Yeah.
Overall, the meal was mid. I think we had set high expectations because people were raving about the food hall. I think we are too spoiled with food back home. But as Paul always says, food is fuel. We love the bread that was served at Cafe Pico, which is a restaurant that we went to a few days ago. And I learned that they get their bread from 00. The sandwich was perfect. Doesn't matter. Time for our Canal tour.
We decided to make the entirety of our inner city a warehouse. And how did we get stuff to these warehouses? Well, we had roads, but we didn't.
Our guides were so funny and informative. Apparently, we were put on the wrong boat, so we didn't get our unlimited alcohol and cheese package. But a storm was brewing, and because we got on an earlier boat, we avoided the rain and the storm completely. I take that as a win. Fries are very popular in Amsterdam. People were actually waiting in the rain for them. There were so many employees for such a small to-go restaurant. The fries weren't really special. Maybe it's because we did walk 20 minutes in the rain to bring it back to the hotel. The croquettes, on the other hand, were so good. The outside was very crispy and the inside was very creamy. We got a shrimp, a beef, and a pork one. We finally made it to the pantry, which serves classic Dutch food. I love all the eclectic decor and how homey it felt inside. We wanted to grab dinner here the other night, but it was so crowded and they weren't taking walk-ins anymore. So we made reservations for today and we're the first ones here. The split pea soup was smooth and savory. The sausages were really good, but I wasn't a fan of the raw one in the middle. Paul liked it though. We really enjoyed the meatball with different flavors of mashed potatoes. And for dessert, we had vanilla custard with yogurt. And a plate with chocolate ice cream, chocolate mousse, and a boozy mousse. Perfectly refreshing and light to end a delicious meal. Definitely one of my favorites of our time so far here in Amsterdam. Time to delve into culture a little bit and see Van Gogh's art. If you didn't know, Van Gogh is actually from the Netherlands. I didn't realize how different all his art looked. It's almost as if the collection belonged to several artists instead of just one person. I especially love the ones that had this shiny look to it. I love all the colors and all the textures. He had so much detail and so much intention in each of his pieces. See, don't these pieces look different than his other ones? Still beautiful nonetheless. I'm glad we got to learn a little bit more about Van Gogh and had the opportunity to see some of his feelings through his art. When in the Netherlands, home of Gouda, you must have a cheese tasting with wine.
You have the comments, so you can rate the cheese out of a 10, 100 hearts, stars. That's great up to you. Be creative with how you want to.
It was fun learning about the history of Gouda, the different flavor profiles, and the type of wines that paired well with each cheese. Our favorites ended up being the Old Goat and the Young Goat. I've been really enjoying sipping on wine and snacking on good cheese and meats. We ended up buying 3 large wedges of cheese to share with our family later on our trip. There are several Fabels in the city. It has a cool concept of fast food vending machines. They had bites like cheeseburger, chicken sandwiches, croquettes, and even sausages. The food was okay, but I can see how it's popular when you need something quick or if you have the munchies after a late night out. That ends our time here in Amsterdam and the beginning of our time in Germany. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.